and welcome to the first video of the dynamic content using PHP. The first thing we'll be talking about today is variables. All variables hold different values, and they all start with a $sign followed by the name of the variable. You can think of them as containers for storing information. So in this example, the result should end up saying PHP is fun 5 and 10.5 on separate lines. The name must start with a letter or the underscore character, and it's not allowed to start with a number. The name can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscores. And in PHP, all keywords, classes, functions, and user-defined functions are not case-sensitive. However, names are case-sensitive. For example, if you type password in all caps, it's different than password in all lowercase. So when you assign a text value to a variable, you put quotes around the value, and all of the text goes inside the quotes. Unlike other programming languages, PHP has no command for declaring a variable. It is created the moment you first assign a value to it. And PHP automatically converts the variable to the correct data type, depending on its value. In other languages such as C, C++, and Java, the programmer must declare the name and type of the variable before using it. And variables can be declared anywhere in the script. The scope of a variable is the part of the script where the variable can be referenced or used. And in PHP, there are 3 different variable scopes, which are local, global, and static. So in this example, it shows you how to use a global scope. And a global scope is basically a variable declared outside of a function and can only be accessed outside a function. And if you run these, it should end up saying variable x inside function is colon and variable x outside function is 5. This example shows you how to use a local scope. And a local scope is a variable declared within a function and can only be accessed within that function. So if you run this one accordingly, it should say the variable inside function is 5 and variable outside function is colon. So the global keyword is used to access a global variable from within that function. To do this, use the global keyword before the variables, which is inside the function. So in this example, you should end up with the result of the number 15 because of these 2 variables added together. So when we do not want a variable to be deleted when the function is executed, use the static keyword when you first declare the variable. So in this example, it just shows you the numbers 0, 1, and 2 in a vertical line. So then, each time the function is called, the variable will still have the information it contained from the last time the function was called. So now moving on to echo. The echo statement can be used with or without parentheses as echo. So you can use it as echo or echo. Okay. And in this example, it shows you how to use the output text with the echo command, and notice that the text contains HTML markup, and everything that's inside quotes is what shows up. So now we're going to be talking about data types, and variables can store data of different types, and different data types do different things. So PHP supports string, integer, float, boolean, array, object, null, and resource. And a string is a sequence of characters. And this example shows how a string can be any text inside quotes, and you can use either single or double quotes. And a string can be a float is a number with a decimal point or a number in exponential form. The PHP boolean represents the statements either true or false. And for example, you could set the variable x is true and the variable y is false. And booleans are often used in conditional testing. So example 12 here shows the outcome of the outcome of the code should be VW. And an object is a data type which stores data and information on how to process that data. In PHP, an object must be explicitly declared, and for this we declared a class of objects. To do this, we use the class keyword, and a class is a structure that can contain properties and methods. So example 13 here shows how to use null. And null is a special data type which only has the one value of itself, and basically has no value assigned to it. So a quick tip is that if a variable is created without a value, it just automatically assigns a value of null. Variables can also be emptied by setting the value to null. So moving on to syntax, the basic PHP syntax is that all PHP scripts start with this, and always end with this. So the default file extension for PHP files is .php, and a PHP file normally contains HTML tags and some PHP scripting code. So a string is a sequence of characters, like I said before, And the PHP string function returns the length of a string. So for example, you would say PHP your echo string, and in parentheses you could say like hi, and then user, and you could say outputs and close. And the PHP strrv function reverses a string, and the PHP strpos function searches for a specific text within a string. And if a match is found, the function returns the character position to the first match. And if no match is found, it will return as false. So now we're going to be moving on to constants. And to create a constant, we have to use the define function. So you would say define, and then your name, value, and case insensitive. And the name specifies the name of the constant, the value specifies the value of the constant, and case insensitive specifies whether the constant name should be case insensitive. The default is false, and constants are automatically global and can be used across the entire script. Operators are used to perform operations on variables and values, and the PHP divides the operators into the following groups: arithmetic, assignment, comparison, increment, decrement, logical, string operators. And you will learn more about these in future lessons. So conditional statements are also a very important part in PHP, and very often when you write code, you want to perform different actions for different decisions. And you can use conditional statements in your code to do this. So in PHP, we have the following conditional statements. The if statement executes some code only if the specified condition is true. The if-else statement executes some code if the condition is true and other code if the condition is false. The if-else statement specifies a new condition to test if the first condition is false, and the switch statement selects one of many blocks of code to be executed. So for the if statement, you would say if and then your condition, and then you would say code to be executed condition true, and then use the if else statement to execute some code if the condition is true and another condition if it's false, and you basically add another one of these, just saying code to be executed if condition is false. So this would be if. And use the if-else statement to specify a new condition to test if the first condition is false. So you would add the else if condition, and you would say code to be executed if condition is true. So that's it for this video of your introduction to dynamic content using PHP. And be sure to check out the other videos for more information.